Cook Eat is proudly sponsored by Board Bia and StopFoodWaste.ie.
We're back in Grow HQ here in Waterford for another year of growing, cooking and eating.
This year, the 7 veg we're growing are
Onions, pumpkins, sweet corn, courgettes, kale, French beans and spicy chilies, making each vegetable the star of the show.
We'll be teaching you how to grow like a pro.
Look at these beauties.
As well as travelling far and wide to find the best food stories from around the country. Is everybody hungry?
Then it's into the kitchen for our favourite part, the taste test.
Yum.
So what are we waiting for?
Let's get growing.
Karen, where would you say these lovely chilies have come from?
I'd say you bought them in a local supermarket, so I'm going to guess Holland, Spain.
They are indeed imported all the way from Holland and they do not need to be.
Oh my God, I'm sensing a bee in your Scots bonnet. Go on.
These grow really, really well here at home in Ireland, as long as we do it inside, like in the house or in a greenhouse, and incredibly prolific. You'll get about 50 or 60 of these bad boys from one plant.
Oh, nice. Do you think I could get a lipstick this colour as well?
Don't mind the lipstick.
What do you
Let's
think?
start growing
Come on,
them.
let's do it.
This week we're packing some serious heat with a selection of chili peppers.
And I'll be speaking to GIY's head chef JB about how to make the most of your gluts.
And as the series comes to a close, both Mick and I will be working together to show you how to prepare your garden for the winter months.
And our resident chef, Katie Sanderson, will be cooking up the final meal this year as she tests our tongues with a fiery chili dish. So I'm going to get you to start filling up these pots. We've got a nice mix of different things, Karen, going on. So the Ring of Fire chili is a really, really hot chili, as you would expect from the name. The Hungarian hot wax is a kind of a hybrid between a chili pepper and a kind of a regular pepper.
Okay.
And then the Bendigo is a classic bell pepper. So this is just regular potting compost. What we're going to be doing is sowing our seeds in here, and in about a month's time we're going to be taking them out of here and putting them into module trays.
But why would we not then just start them off in module trays?
Yeah, exactly. Great question. So the reason is, right, chilies are notoriously slow to start. So they take about 2 weeks to germinate. So by the time, remember we talked about how compost only generally has enough feed in it to feed the plants for about 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. So by the time that 6 weeks is up, these chilies are only going to be absolutely tiny.
Yeah.
So by kind of moving them on into module trays with fresh compost, you're actually resetting the clock on the kind of nutrition
To
in
give
the
them
soil.
the next boost they need to
exactly.
keep growing. Okay.
I'm going to give you the Ring of Fire, right? So
Oh,
what we
thanks,
want...
Mick. You're so kind.
So what we want is about 2 centimetres between the seeds. So we're sowing 10 seeds in each one of these. These are 9 centimetre pots.
Yeah.
So they need to have a little bit of space, because what happens is if they're too close together, the roots will start to grow into each other, and then when you take them out of here, you're going to sort of set them back. So 2 centimetres is kind of important. So that's it, right? So have you got 10 in yours?
Yeah. I do actually have 10 in mine.
Okay, great.
Oh my God.
And are they 2 centimetres apart?
Totally.
Okay, great. So we need about 1 centimetre of soil to cover these over, yeah? Not too deep. If you sow them too deep, they won't germinate. So that's them ready, right? So
Do we need to water them?
we do need to water them. So if you look down the bag there, I have a little yoke to show you, which is, you know, we're against sort of single-use plastic in general, but this is a really handy little watering can, perfect for
Bit
kind
of upcycling.
module trays and stuff. So we've just poked a couple of holes into the top of that, and it's ideal for getting just about enough into each one. Yeah?
I knew it.
And there we go, we're ready to go.
Okay, good to go.
So it's 5 weeks later and they're ready to be moved on now. So it's a kind of a process where you have to be just a little bit careful, because if you touch the stems or the roots of a tiny little seedling like this, generally speaking, you're going to damage it or set it back or even kill it, and you don't want to do that. So what I do is I sort of give the pot a bit of a squeeze to start to loosen it, and I use one of these plant labels to sort of start easing them out. And when you're holding them by the actual leaf. And you can see why we need to start moving these on now, because the roots are starting to get tangled into each other. So we want to get as much of that root ball as possible with as much compost as possible as well. So we make a little hole into our pot here and drop the little seedling in there with its roots and just firm it in very gently with some extra compost. Okay, so over the next couple of days, we're going to keep these really well watered. Water them every day if we need to, because roots love water, so they're going to go off in search of water in the pot, and that's going to help them get established. So I'm going to get back to work now. I've got lots more of these guys to get through.
It's 5 weeks on and our chili peppers are ready to come out of their pots.
So what I'm thinking is 3 rows. So chilies need between kind of 40 to 60 centimetres or so. And the planting kind of is the same, whether they're bell pepper or not. There's no particular magic to this. You just need to get a bit of a planting hole big enough for the plants.
So again, back to
to
the
sit.
base of the...
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's about right, yeah. Again, 45 centimetres over there, somewhere in around there. So last thing, right, bit of feed. So again, hungry plant producing fruit needs some food. So this is good fertile soil, but we're going to do a handful of poultry manure, good old stink of the farm, handful per square yard. And the same then of our smell
Seaweed
of the
dust.
sea,
Yeah.
seaweed dust the same, about a handful here, should be loads. And we're just going to work that in a little bit, and then last thing, bit of water. They're not a madly thirsty plant, but they do like a kind of a humid sort of environment. So
A humid environment.
yeah, so
okay.
unlike a lot of the plants that we've been doing where you don't wet the plant itself, it doesn't really matter if you wet the plant with peppers.
So I have the 3 chilies. So one of them is the hot Hungarian hot wax, which I'm going to put in with the Bendigo to the bigger pot. So you know how we were doing the added feed up above in the glass house? Well, because this is potting compost and it's got about a month's worth of nutrients, I don't need to add anything extra to these guys. Maybe in a month's time we'll check them out. And they're going to do really well together. And then this one, like, look at this, a really small little container. If that's all you want to get growing on your windowsill or your balcony, go with the ring of fire, and in it goes. A little bit of water. But there we go. Chili plants in containers. Very, very easy.
If you're as good a grower as myself,
Yeah, get on with it.
then you will have more veg than you know what to do with. But fear not, JB, our head chef, is on hand to help. Starting with tomatoes, like I've just got basket loads of these coming into the house at the moment. What can I be doing with them?
There, you have I'm just roasting the tomatoes with a bit of sugar, a bit of oil, a bit of basil just hidden under there, a bit
Okay.
of our own red wine vinegar.
Okay.
And then I just blitz that to make a nice, lovely, deep.
So
taste
literally
ketchup.
to get from this to this sauce, that's all it is. It's just oven roasted and then
Just oven
blitzed.
roasted and then blitz. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
amazing. That's really easy. French beans again, like I find brilliant just to bung them in the freezer. They're
So that's it,
fantastic.
yeah. So
Do they need to be blanched?
what I do, I blend them first.
Yeah.
So they're going to keep the integrity of the beans themselves. So that's kind of going to fix the clarifier and all the goodness in the beans.
Okay, but
So
also
the-
some options around.
Some option like because
Like a pickle, is it?
Yeah, that's a kind of a pickle because what I found like in the freezer, the freezer space is quite it's quite tight at the end of arriving at the end of September.
Yeah.
You know, when you need to freeze all your ingredients.
Okay.
So that's kind of piccalilli. It's a
Piccalilli,
So
so-
it's different vegetables with mustard and vinegar.
Beautiful.
As such, you know.
That's
So
fantastic.
it's
And that'll
Gavin
store for a year, I guess.
For
wouldn't it?
well over a year.
Okay.
My grandparents used to do that and keep it over 3 years.
Oh my God. Okay. So you'll have jars of that down the back of the press for.
That's it.
I've done a thing with chilies
Yeah.
where I've kind of hung them up in the
Yeah.
kitchen and
And
it
they
looks
get,
great for about a month and then they get very kind of papery and
Very
dry.
peppery and dry. And
What else
tasteless.
could I do with the? With
So instead of drying them like that, you can just dry them in salt. So what I've done there, I just took some sea salt,
Yeah.
put the chilies in, the seeds and all, and blend it. So the chilies, it becomes a chili salt.
Wow.
So you have
And,
the chili
and
salt
that can
very-
be stored in a jar then for
in the jar
indefinitely.
for
nearly.
indefinite.
Yeah.
Indefinite.
And then finally the big glut crop
Yeah.
courgettes. So this is just grated courgette effectively.
Yeah, effectively,
Or
so
julienne,
so that's great to use just in the saladada or to make a nice mix with a bit of chili oil, smoked tofu to make a nice burger with it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like using lots is not only about pickling and preserving and freezing, it's as well try to find different ways to use your vegetables.
That's brilliant. I think the most important thing is not to waste them. There are loads of options to use them at the time or store them up for lots of good eating later on during the winter and spring ahead.